This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.
Well, he has a beautiful new album called Living in the Light, his first solo album in 10 years. He's been playing around the tri-state recently, just played Carnegie Hall with Richard Thompson. All the info and tour dates, TommyEmmanuel.com. And he's a guy, I'm just blown away by his guitar playing. He's a Grammy-winning, multiple award-winning singer, songwriter, guitarist. Tommy Emmanuel joins us in the studio. Tommy, you're from Australia originally, but based in Nashville now. And I found out about you in the last year just online. I saw these clips of you playing, and now you've been doing this, since the 70s. You have about 20 more albums since then you've released. And
well, that's recording. I started playing in 1959.
Oh, my God. Well,
yeah, it's a long time
Where's
ago.
the Fountain of Youth, then? Because I need to find it. Clearly, you have found it.
No, I'm clearly 70 years old.
Well,
so.
your family was musical. You first started playing and touring with your family at the age of 6?
Well, I turned pro, and we were already working before that. But I started out playing rhythm guitar because my mother was trying to teach herself how to play Hawaiian music, and she could play a bit of guitar. So she got a little guitar for me for my 4th birthday.
Was it literally like a little guitar?
A small one.
Yeah.
And she showed me how to play the chords and how a song works, is constructed, that I could back her up. And it didn't take long before I understood how to do it, and she would play the melody over the top. And then because that was working, then my older brother Phil, 2.5 years older than me, he wanted to be the lead guitar player. So my dad got him a guitar, and he learned how to play, songs by The Ventures and The Shadows and Dwayne Eddy and people like that, and Arthur Smith's Guitar Boogie.
Yeah.
We were listening to 78 records. Right?
Wow.
That's how long ago it was.
Yeah. I want to ask you about one of my favorite guitarists, the late and legendary Chet Atkins.
Yeah.
There is a story that you actually wrote him a letter.
I did.
You sent it through the mail. Obviously, there was no email back then, no instant messaging, no text, and he actually sent a letter back to you. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's 1966. So imagine how busy Chet was in 1966.
Very.
I mean,
Wasn't he president of a record company?
He was president of RCA. He was the big producer in town. He was signing artists. He was making records. And he had his own career going as well as,
of course, as a performer artist.
Guiding the careers of so many others. And so after my dad passed away, I kind of retreated into Chet's records that I had. I had 2 albums, and I just kind of rotated them and played and listened and all that. And that was my place of solace,
Didn't he have wasn't there a Chet Atkins Gibson guitar or something, like a country gentleman? What was it called?
That was a Gretsch.
That was a Gretsch.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Gibson did make guitars for him later.
Right.
But that was a Gretsch, came out in the 50s. And I had one. I had a Tennessean.
Oh,
and,
nice.
That was my dream guitar back
Of
in
course,
those days.
yeah.
And Fred Gretsch is one of my dear friends, and he's still around and working hard and doing great things for the company.
So going through time, you did a session work at some point in Australia? Did you do that?
Just getting back to the letter for a second.
Yeah, go back, Chet Atkins, yeah.
So I just got this idea to write him a fan letter, and I wrote on the thing, how much I loved his music. And
how old were you when you wrote this letter?
I was 10, right? So I love your songs. I'm trying to work out how to play, and I rattled off a few tunes and all that. And please, can I have a photo and all that sort of stuff? And I put it in an envelope, and I wrote Chet Atkins, Nashville, America on it.
That's it.
And I put a few stamps on it, where it went, and he got it. And about 2 months later, I came home from school, and my mum said, go into your room, there's something on your bed.
Whoa.
And it was a big brown envelope with eagles on the stamps and a USA. And my heart just leapt, when I opened it. And it was this beautiful typed letter on RCA Victor Records.
Letterhead, yeah.
Letterhead, and from the office of Chet Atkins. And he was saying he didn't know anybody that far away would have even heard of him. And he was thrilled to hear from me. And
before YouTube, obviously.
Yeah. And wishing me all the best with my music, and hope that I get the chance to come to Nashville so we could get together. And he sent me a black and white photo of him with his Gretsch guitar. And I can't tell you what that did for me. I mean, it just like, it lit a fire in me, and I was really trying to work out some of the songs from his records. Of course, they were way more sophisticated than what I knew about, but I just kept at it, as the same as I do today. I don't give up.
Here's the question: do you still have the letter? Do you still have the photo?
I wish I did, but it got destroyed in a flood.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
In England, and I was away. I was away on tour. And my ex-wife had taken things out of our garage in the storage, and she left the garage door up.
Oh.
And all the rain and water came in, and it ruined everything that I had kept in there.
Well, there's a reason she's your ex, I guess.
Well, there you go. But these things happen,
Yes, they do, yeah.
But the memories that I have from my time with Chet and recording together, all the things that we talked about, our relationship, and my relationship with his whole family, it was wonderful.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
wow, what a great story.
I'll never forget the day that I'm living in Australia, in Melbourne, and it was about 1995, and the phone rings, and it was Chet, and he said, well, the record company's, because we're both with the same label by then, we were both on Columbia.
Okay.
And he said, well, the record company's really excited about you and all this, and would you like to record together? And I'll just never forget that moment,
Oh, man.
He rang me and asked me, will you want to record together? So I knew somewhere, somehow, that I was on the right track.
Yeah. Fantastic stories, man.
Yeah.
Did you do some session work at some point in your career too?
I love doing session work. So actually, in the kind of arc of my life and my career, by the time I was 14, I was teaching adults how to play the guitar, which was really weird. Right, and there were people asking me to play on their records. People wanting to be in country music in Australia, which was kind of looked down on in my home country. I mean, it's big as it is here now in Australia.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid in the '60s, it was really looked down on. But I loved country music. I mean, the first music I heard was Jimmy Rogers and Hank Williams. That's the first music I heard. Really? And I can sing you lots of their songs and play them.
Well, they call that classic country now, right?
Probably.
I mean, yeah.
And
George Jones and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Patsy
George
Cline
Jones came later. Patsy Cline in the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, great songs, great production and all that stuff. I wanted to be a studio player, and I needed to come off the road because I was touring with a kind of country variety show, and I wanted to be in the big city, like New York. I wanted to be in Sydney, and I wanted to be playing on people's records, and I needed that experience, and I was so passionate about it. And I came to Sydney. I was 18, and all I had was my experience, and I quickly got work. I would play for somebody, and I would get a job. And then I auditioned for a singer-songwriter guy who was doing very well, and I got the job because I knew the songs he was doing, and I could sing the harmonies and play the solos, and so I was getting work, and that kind of fed into people calling me like, "Can you play like Merle Travis?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let me at it." And they'd be recording something like, "Sweet Temptation," one of Travis's tunes, and I'd play and I'd kind of quote Travis, and nobody was doing that. If you think about the timeline of that was in the mid-'70s. Everybody was trying to be Lee Ritenour, Larry Carlton, and Santana and Eric Clapton. Nobody was doing, Chet Atkins and Merle Travis, Jerry Reed, James Burton. Nobody was doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just came along at the right time, and I got so much work, and I had so much good experience. Playing on records, playing on good songs, and I was curious to know about recording and about engineering, about production, about arrangement, all that stuff. I was curious about everything, and all that stuff that I went through. It really has helped me shape my style, my songwriting, how my records sound, how my songs end up, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's like that all adds to your sort of musicality vocabulary. You know what I mean? It's like you go through all, like, from recording, mixing, playing, different artists, different songs, really sort of widens your ability to play on almost everything, right?
And down to, what is too much? What is too little? Is that good enough? Is that in tune? Is that in time? All that sort of stuff. You know?
Well, you mentioned him, Eric Clapton, and you actually toured with Eric.
I did in
on
1990.
Journeyman album, I
That's
think, right? Yeah?
Exactly.
Tell us about.
Oh man, what a beautiful guy he is. He really is. I've always been a big fan, But when I was young, growing up listening to, red hot players like Chet and Jerry Reed and James Burton and people, Albert Lee, people like that. When I heard Eric, I didn't really get it at the start. I thought, it just sounds like a regular blues guy down at the local bar,
Right.
Where, okay, he sings okay and he plays okay, but I didn't get it. And it was years later that I really fell in love with same thing with B.B. King. Everybody was raving about B.B. King, and I'm just an ignorant kid from the bush. I didn't know what blues music was. I had to find it and discover it and let it take over me. And now I just love it so much,
Yeah.
But this is the evolution of us, When I talk to young people, like I did a masterclass at Berkeley in Boston 2 days ago, right?
Wow.
Or 3 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and you got a couple of hundred really young, excited kids who have seen me play, and they want to know, how can we be doing what you're doing? And my message is, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
You're not going to be the player and the person that you want to be tomorrow. You have to live a little. You have to make mistakes and grow and take a lot in. I always tell people, be a listener. Listen to everything. Don't close your mind to all kinds of music. Open your mind and take it in.
I want to ask you about a couple of artists that you also sort of worked with over the years. Two in particular. The first one being Les Paul.
Oh, right. I met Les here. Actually, Chet called him one day when we were working together, and he said, "You want to say hello to Les?" And I said hello. And Les straight away invited me to come and play with him at the Iridium.
The
right?
Iridium, the legendary Les Paul Monday nights at
That's
Iridium.
Right.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, thank you, Les." Like that. And when I hung up, Chet said, "Don't do it. He'll humiliate you." Right? And because Les is a naughty boy on stage, he'll when Chet went to down here to play with him when they did Chester and Lester and all that, he'd do stuff like turn off Chet's amp in the middle of a solo or unplug his guitar or,
He's competitive.
Just clowning around.
Yeah.
He's just being funny. You know? And anyway, so Chet said, no, he'll humiliate you. Anyway, so cut a long story short, I decided I really wanted to meet Les.
Well, you got to go.
And, so I arrived in the afternoon, and they were running through stuff and getting a sound, and he was playing great, and he looked in good shape. He was 89 or 88 or something. And anyway, I did my sound check. And I was being very low key, a big respect for him and for Lou Paolo and the band and the whole thing. Anyway, so he calls me out in the first show, and I immediately engage him in a Django tune. And I go, and the band join in, and we play it, and I throw to him all the time, and I take a little solo, and then I throw back to him, and then I play one more tune, like Caravan or something like that, with the band and him, and then I bow and go off, right? And I didn't make anything of it, and I was being very low key. When he finished the first show, I'm sitting in the dressing room, and he came straight in like a rabid dog, and he said, "I know what you're doing." He said, "You think I'm old, and don't you ever hold back on stage again. When I call you out there, you get up there, you give it hell, give it all you got." And I looked him right in the eye, and I said, "Okay, Les, I will," like that, right? So in the second show, he calls me out. I come running out there, I cranked my amp up, and I went straight into classical gas. And the audience erupted at the end, jumped to their feet. They were screaming, deafening, and just going wild. And when they finally come down, Les gets on the mic and he said, so he waits till I'm old to come and beat me up. Son of a gun.
Fantastic. Yeah. The other guy I want to ask you about is another one of my favorite guitar players, Mark Knopfler.
Oh, yeah. I love Mark Knopfler. Always have. And I got to record a track with Mark on my album, Accomplice One. And,
So tasty.
So tasty, and such a unique writer and player, and a unique artist all round, and just a great sound. That sound he has on the start of Money for Nothing, that thing he plays, only he can play.
Legendary riff right there.
It's unbelievable,
Yeah.
And it's all sorts of stuff. It's a voice box half open. It's the amp cranked in a certain way, and it's just what he's doing. That's like you got to have those things in place to make that sound.
Fantastic. More recently, Billy Strings.
Yeah, what a guy! I met Billy when he was about 16. And Brian Sutton and I were playing together at Merlefest. And Brian said, "Hey, this young guy Billy's here, and he'd really like to play with us tonight." And I said, "Oh, sure, get him up." So we were playing like a 10 o'clock show in a pretty big space, and it was packed with excited people. And Brian and I came out and just started hosing it out, having a great time. And then we introduced Billy, and he came out, and look out, he tore it up. And he sang great, and
he's done the work. He's done the studying. You know what I mean? He knows.
He is the new messenger as far as bluegrass music goes. I mean, his roots go right back to Jimmy Rogers, really. But Bill Monroe,
well, of course,
Doc Watson, Tony Rice, all the people, all the architects of modern bluegrass music. And, they needed... Chet Atkins said to me one time, "I need you because when you play, you grab the ear of the younger people. I can't do that anymore." And that's what Billy's done. He's come along at the right time when this new generation that are out there now need to hear something in bluegrass that really attracts them. And not just his playing and not just his singing, but him.
Yeah, it's sort of it's an interesting juxtaposition because you hear his music and you're like, okay, this guy's phenomenal on guitar. And then you see him, long hair,
Yeah.
plaid shirt,
Yeah.
all tatted up,
Yeah.
like every other kid in America now.
That's exactly right.
So,
But-
but here he is playing very traditional music.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but he's open to anything. He's a total open soul, and I love that about him. When him and I recorded Doc's guitar and Black Mountain Rag on Accomplice 2, it was one take.
Yeah.
You know? I was in one room, he was in the other. We worked out the arrangement, and I said, okay, let's go. Bang. He got it first time.
Fantastic.
And he played the hell out of it.
Yeah. Tommy Emmanuel is with it, his new album, Living in the Light, his first solo album in 10 years. And this new album, Tommy, it's, we're talking about all these collaborations that you've done recently and over the years, but this album is all about you and your songwriting.
Well, thank you. Yeah. There's a couple of covers there.
Okay.
I did a vocal tune of a song called Maxine, which was a big hit in Australia back in the early 80s. And it's a true story about a prostitute who never made it. It's a tough song to sing, because it's a real life story, What's the matter with you? Has the cat got your tongue? If you don't like the beat, why play with the drum? Maxine, you're not the only one to take the whole world on. No one's ever won. It's just it's just such a good, straight ahead, real human message.
Yeah.
And I like it. I've always loved that song, so I just did it because I'm a storyteller, and I thought there's a song that's very appropriate for what's going on in our world right now, and it's called "Waiting for the Times to Get Better." That's a song from the 70s that Crystal Gale did.
Oh, Crystal,
and,
yeah.
And I heard Doc Watson sing it, and I thought, I've got to have a go at this.
Yeah.
Because Doc's voice is so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the message of the song, And, so there's a few different things on there, but there's a lot of new songs that I've written, and I just went in and I recorded and mixed the whole album in 4 days.
That's amazing.
I had no choice but to get it.
It was just pouring out of you, right?
It was Vance Powell, the co-producer, the engineer. I mean, he's a big part of this record. He did so much great work.
Yeah.
And he did it quickly. You know? He's a real no-nonsense guy. It's like, I start at 10, I finish at 6, that's it.
Okay.
There's no late night staying up.
No, come in at 10 p.m., stay till sunrise.
No.
Yeah,
none
no.
of that
Those days
stuff.
are over.
And I'm the same.
Yeah.
I like playing in the morning, So, but anyway, it was a joy to make. And I love the direction that I'm heading, and it's just it's extremely unpretentious. It's just like, here are the songs, here's the story, here it is being played. That's it.
Do you remember the first time you came to New York City? Was there one thing you wanted to do, see, or eat? And where did you play?
I played at B.B. King's on 42nd
42nd Street. Okay, yeah.
And I felt really privileged to be there because it was really hard to get, and I was virtually unknown. And the fact that my agent was the agent for Chet Atkins, he was also the agent for like the Doobie Brothers and people like that.
Big time, yeah.
He recommended me for the gig, and they put me on a Sunday night, and it was a great crowd. And we were so thrilled. And I'll just never forget the fact that I'm here in New York City and my name's up on the
marquee.
On the marquee. And you know what? I stood across the road on 42nd. I stood across the road from B.B. King's, and I called my mother back in Australia. And I said, "Hey, Mum, guess where I am?" And she said, "Oh, I don't know, darling," like that. And I said, "I'm in New York City, 42nd Street, and my name is up on the wall up there. It's
up
in
lights. Yeah,
up in lights." And she said, "Oh, good. Have you got something nice to wear?"
Fantastic.
That's Mums.
I love it.
Yeah.
Tommy Emmanuel is with us. Go out and get his beautiful new album. It's called Living in the Light, and get all the info on Tommy and the tour dates, TommyEmmanuel.com.
Yeah.
Tommy, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan.
Consider this your second home in New York. Anytime you're in New
appreciate
York,
it.
please come back.
104.3.
This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q104.3.